Alright guys, let's do something here a little bit tricky but powerful again. So I don't like comma separated values, as I told you before, because they are difficult to read. I already showed you how you could use set to make replacement, so let's replace those comma separated values by tab separated values. So doing that in set is quite simple. We'll just say substitute any comma that you find. For if you press Ctrl V and then the tab, so replace that for tab and do it globally. Otherwise we'll do it just the first time it encounters a comma in each of the rows, and then do that globally in the file that is called taxa CSV, and just print on the screen the first 10 lines. And you see now that this is way easier to read for us as humans, right? And however, there is another visual problem here. The IDs are too long, and in many cases you would like to have IDs that long because they have the right structure that is needed for some programs to process them correctly. But let's say we want to have here a very simple format for this program. So first we will just save the new tab separated file in a new file that is called taxa TSV. If we have this taxa TSV file, now you can see that it's separated by tab and it's very nice, except for the IDs that are too long. Let's fix that too. So let's cut the first column of taxa TSV, and look that in this case I don't have to indicate that it is a tab separated value, because this is the default for many programs in the bash or in the command line. And then I will save that on names, and then if I have names, then you see that I have isolated only the names. So how can I make those names simpler? If you go to the end of each of the names, you see that this say that the last level included here is the phylum Actinobacteria. If you go to this one, it says that the last level included is the species Actinomyces species oral taxon 414. So we have found a pattern here to work with, and then all what we have to do is to remove anything that comes before and up to the last pipe sign, right? And then we could do that in several ways, but let's do it with set, and then we will substitute with set anything until the pipe sign, and we will substitute it for nothing. And then on names, and you see that's come very nice, very short names, and we still keep the information about the specific taxonomic level we are dealing with in a new file that is called names short. And if I had names short, and then you see we have the column ID with that very nice one. So how can I recover the original file? I mean, what I want to do here is to use those short names and to append to them or to paste them on the right the values, the tab separated values for each of the samples. So I know that I have those values in taxa TSV. So what I want to do is to exchange essentially these long names for those short names, but they are in different files, right? So here a trick to do that. So we will say paste names short to what? To the counts that are in the file that is called taxa TSV. But I don't want the first column, only from the column 2 to the end. So what we will do here is we will write a sign of smaller than to denote that we are opening a new operation in the command line, and then we will use the command cut, and then cut field to what? To the end, so I don't have to write until which column I want to crop. If you want to crop only until column 5, then you indicate 5, but if you want to indicate until the last one, you can either write 31st, because we know it is the last one, or you just leave it like that and the program will automatically determine the last column or the number of the last column. And then in file, that is called taxa tsv, right? And then I can head that just to look that this was done correctly. So now we have the chore names with the abundance of each with the abundance of that taxa in each of the samples, right?